And we are live. Good morning, crypto warriors, and welcome back to the Gentleman of Crypto, episode 1296. Today is Friday, February 14. Happy V-Day 2025. And I'm King, here to bridge the gap between the community and crypto every day, Monday through Friday at 7 a.m.-ish. And today's top stories: Trump, DOJ's order to drop Eric Adams' case sparks mass resignations. SEC acknowledges Grayscale's XRP and Doge ETF filings. Alexander Finnick lands in Moscow after U.S.-Russia prisoner swap. This should actually be one of the top stories in the United States, but not a lot of people know about it. CZ's dog name sparks broccoli meme coin frenzy, and Michigan becomes latest state to propose crypto reserve bill. That and more. But first and foremost, of course, let's go ahead and take a quick look at these prices and see what's going on. Let me actually refresh this because I had it on from early this morning. All right, Bitcoin is coming at $97,145. You saw that just changed up 1.42% on the 24-hour clock. Ethereum's at $2,716, up 3.35%. Ripple at $2.73, up 12.27% on this talk of ETFs and things of the sort. Solana, number 5, $200, up 5.5%. Numbers 6, BNB, $665, down 5%. Number 9, Cardano at 81 cent, up 4.22%. And number 10, Tron at 23 cent, down 1.6%. Fair and Greed index is about the same at a 38. Bitcoin dominance has slipped a little bit, 59.53%, so a little bit under 60 now. Ethereum dominance is at a 10.12%. So again, a couple of percentage points have moved. And as you can see here on the left, some of the trending coins, XRP, broccoli, which we'll be talking about, broccoli all on the right. You've seen like 3 different broccolis, okay? So we'll definitely be talking about that meme coin frenzy today and much more. Of course, today is Bitcoin, Bitcoin Friday. So if you don't like Bitcoin or you want to share your altcoin, or I call it something wrong, if there's anything you want to call in about, I always want to offer that time to feel free to do it. I don't want to tweet to death or comments and all this other stuff. So this is the reason why I always do it. I'll put the link in the chat. Feel free to use it. And last but not least, thanks for giving me a heads up in the Discord. So folks, I think since I've been public with this since 2017, there has never, ever been a time I've publicly come out and asked for money, right? Or even privately for that matter. I haven't came out and asked for money. If I have a project or something, I'm actually selling a product or something like that, that's different. But I have never came out and asked for money. A, B, if I ever do come out and I'm doing anything that has anything to do with capital, I'm live every day, almost every other day, folks. I will always say it live. There will never be a time I'm talking about money. I'm just texting or emailing, but I won't say it when you see me. If there's any money on the table, any business on the table with King, the gentleman of crypto, anything like that, you will always be able to talk to me about that business. Do not follow any of these fake names. I don't know why people are even trying to hack me and scam me. I'm not even the biggest one out here. Go after the big fish. Stop going after the little fish. So I'm not sure why they're coming after us in our community, but it is not me requesting money or requesting you all to join this or join that. Right now, it's the Discord, which is free, is the YouTube channel right here. Not much more shaking. I will let you know as it comes live daily as I do normally. All right. So with that being said, let's roll into the top story. People, wow. I mean, I thought it was Christmas when the SEC said meme coins weren't theirs. I don't think you all understand. Like, some of these news stories should be way bigger than what they are. However, I understand why they are not. That's the first thing to say. Second thing I'm gonna say, which kind of goes with this story, man, for a guy who doesn't vote, who wants to stay in the middle, because I understand compromise, I think that's what this nation needs. But for a guy who doesn't want to pick a political side, woo, I will admit, I see what people talk about. One side makes it real easy to push people away. That's all I'm going to say. One side is making it really easy to push people away. Okay. Let's talk about the Southern District of New York before I get into this story. If you're wondering, Southern District of New York, why have we heard that so much? Folks, the Southern District of New York has been the I would say law firm or whatever, but technically they work for the United States. It's the prosecution office located, as it says, in the Southern District of New York City, who are essentially they the runners for the banks. Like, they're literally the store runner for the bank. If the banks say jump, they're going to say how high. BlackRock says we want an ETF, they say immediately. They say we have competition, go get them, they say yes sir, yes ma'am, we're going to go do it. The Southern District of New York has been highlighted and illustrated and made infamous on the TV show Billions, a lot of our favorite TV show out there, where they talk about how the Southern District is going after all these billionaires and blah, blah, blah. Essentially, they're an extortion unit. That's all they do. They extort people. And here in cryptocurrency, anyone who's done anything with crypto, any type of project, anything that made the banks think twice about banking and saw competition, the Southern District of New York were at the helm like some attack dogs to go after it. So these are the same, like this. I want to be clear. The Southern District of New York, Gary Gensler, CFTC, SEC, all these criminals should be in the same boat together. We should be arresting all of them for treason. They shouldn't be allowed to just, oh, I guess we're just going to resign today. But that is what they're doing. Wow. I mean, people, this doesn't get better. These are the people who've been going between them and the SEC. These are the groups who have been going after crypto the last, what, at least 7 years since I've been in 8 years. We are getting rid of the top ops. I need y'all to understand this. Like, no one's going to be left to go after crypto. Again, this will eventually cause a bubble to form and it will burst, and they will blame Bitcoin and cryptocurrency, but it will not be our fault. It will be the fault of the dirty politicians and regulators who couldn't decide if they wanted to do right by America or be corrupt. Oh man, I'm getting too high. Let me say what up to the chat. My bad, chat. 5150 Gamer Johnson. What up, though? Alapio, Lord Smith, L Cryptomatic, 5252 Bitcoin, Wisdom Bars, Hidden Gangster. What up, though? Let's see. Jake Fever said, what was that? Satoshi Slim. Good morning, good morning, good morning, everybody. Welcome back. Let's get to the neutering of New York. I love it, Stan. Let's get to it. The revolution is untelevised. I agree. People, this is huge news. Now, I want to be, let's go into it. Trump's Department of Justice order, DOJ order, to drop Eric Adams' case sparks mass resignations. Now, for those who don't know, Eric Adams, of course, was the New York City mayor. He gave P. Diddy, Puff Daddy, Love, whatever his new name was, Sean Combs, he gave him a key to the city. Of course, shortly after, Sean Combs, P. Diddy, Love was arrested, all the charges. New York Mayor New York Eric Adams was kind of looked at weird because, yo, why you get this dude the key to the city? But also what was even, I think, more, what's the word I'm looking for? I'm trying to figure out these good words to narrate this story. What was even more damning, there it is. There it is. What was even more damning was the fact that Eric Adams accepted some of his salary and some of his business dealings in Bitcoin, right? He wanted New York to have a Bitcoin and a crypto future. And guess who New York is there? Like, guess who's in New York? Wall Street, all those big banks. Immediately, in my point of view, they got the Southern District of New York, they're attack dogs, and they sicked them on them per usual. They got him up out of there. They said, hey, he was campaign funds and election fraud and blah, blah, blah. Well, why didn't the voters say it? That's all I'm asking from far away. Why didn't the voters say this? Why is the Department of Justice's Southern District of New York banking attack dogs going after him and not the actual people who voted? But again, who cares? Because they're gone. 6 senior U.S. Justice Department officials resigned on Thursday rather than comply with an order to dismiss corruption charges against New York City Mayor Eric Adams. So I just want to be clear. Once again, Southern District of New York, if the president, and this is so crazy about everything that's been going on, I want to be clear about this. You all need to respect the position. Unless people are dying, respect the position. This is why nothing gets done. You don't want to respect the position with Trump, nothing gets done. You didn't want to respect the position with Obama, nothing got done. There's two halves to this country, people. If we do not respect the position, nothing will ever get done. So whether you like Trump, whether you like Obama, Biden, Harris, Kamala, whatever, respect the position so we can move forward. But I know y'all don't like that. So let's get back to the story. No one respects the position. And my only thought on this, my analysis of this is it's incredible that the Southern District of New York can say, we're not going to listen to our boss. We're not going to listen to the president and respect his position. But we all in the crypto and everything else, we need to be giving them our money. We need to fall for their extortion. And we have to respect the Southern District of New York's position. Let's be clear. The Southern District of New York are the same people who gave Ross Ulbricht, a guy who was essentially a computer hacker who made a website. They gave him 2 life sentences plus 40 years. You know, the guy President Trump just pardoned on his first day in the office. They gave him 2 life sentences in 40 years, and he was caught, captured, and everything he did wrong happened in California. Yet New York was able to get him all the way to the Southern District of New York from California and charge him and convict him with 2 life sentences plus 40 years. These people are beyond dirty. 2 life sentences. Could you imagine if it was me who was Ross Ulbricht and not Ross Ulbricht? What? That might be death penalty. Like, what? Get them out of here. I'm happy to see him go, and it is just so hypocritic. That's where it's yeah, the hypocrisy of them saying, "Well, we're not going to listen to the president. We're going to resign. We're not going to do your bidding." But yeah, we're going to listen to banks, and the crypto market needs to fall under our like. Who's in charge here? What are we doing? What are we doing here? We need to respect the Southern District. Were you not respecting the president? No. And people, I want to be clear. The reason why I narrate it like this because I'm hoping that for one, you all never get called in for questioning. But if you ever do get called into questioning, show your lawyer these tidbits right here, okay? This should at least buy you another year or 2 years of litigation before any decisions made. The Southern District cannot keep going after crypto companies when they're not even listening to the president themselves. I'm glad they resigned. Stop being crybabies because you can't get your way 24/7. Hilarious. Could you imagine for my military folks who ever in the military? Could you imagine in the military? You didn't like your boss for whatever reason. You hated your boss and you just no, I'm not going to do it. Like what? Take them to the brig. We ain't about to talk about this all day. Just take them downstairs. They'll figure it out. New York, Washington, February 13th is being reported by Reuters. 6 senior Justice Department officials, including Manhattan's top federal prosecutor. Again, Manhattan's top federal prosecutor. Banks put a battery in their back 24/7, resigned on Thursday rather than comply with an order to dismiss corruption charges against New York City's mayor, according to internal Justice Department letters seen by Reuters and people familiar with the matter. Not only that, here's the other thing, folks. Take this into consideration. This is the top spot of New York Southern District. These people go on to become mayors, governors, and presidents next. They're resigning from this position. Do you understand? Like, I'm trying to explain. I can't even put it in words. You have one of the highest regulatory and political positions in New York City, which automatically puts you at one of the top positions in the entire United States of America and one of the top positions on the planet. People don't resign from these positions unless they're about to go run for mayor, unless they're about to become the district attorney or what's the basically the DA for the government. I can't even think of their name, but they don't resign from these positions unless what's coming next is huge. So for them to say, hey, we don't have an immediate future, but we don't like what the president told us to do, so we're going to resign. Like I said, good, better, ugly. I'm not picking sides. I don't care. But for my crypto portfolio, this is amazing. Listen, folks, Eric Adams was a crypto proponent. If he comes, whether he comes back in office or not, the attack on Bitcoin right now is about to tremendously slow down. This is amazing for all your portfolios out there, regardless of whose side you're on. Granted, this could have other effects that has things that affects things that doesn't have to do with crypto. So they can say, well, yeah, that's just crypto cases. But what about these cases they were saying that they were doing a good job on? Hey, can't win them all. I'm here for the Bitcoin and crypto. All right. So I'm not going to go across the board. But by and large, all I know is that these were the bankers' attack dogs, and it's over with. It's over. It's over. It's over. Oh man. Let me see. I'm gonna scroll through this article, see if I'm missing anything else. Um, yeah, Manhattan U.S. Attorney Daniel Sassoon, the Trump administration's recent pick to temporarily lead the office prosecuting New York Mayor Eric Adams, resigned her post on Thursday, according to the memorandum by Deputy Attorney General Emil Bove, a Trump appointee. Yeah, this is as it says here, this marks a sign of resistance from career Justice Department officials. Wow, a career Justice Department official. You're gonna leave all because of your boss, who will only be here for 3.5 more years, did telling you to do something you don't want to do. Wow. Wow. Seem like people we can trust. Let's see. Your office has no authority to contest the weaponization finding, wrote Bo, Trump's former personal criminal defense lawyer. The Justice Department would not tolerate the insubordination. Oh, that's what I said. That's what I said. There ain't no talking and no back and forth. There's no talking and back and forth. That's why I'm confused why there was even some back and forth to begin with. In the military, there is no back and forth. There's going to be a statement that you're going to comply with, or there won't be any more statements. They're just gonna be like, oh, okay, just go grab them there. It's like, whatever. Like, I'm not gonna talk to you about this. Oh my goodness, crazy. Way to give up your whole life. In a letter to Attorney General Pam Bondi, dated February 12th and seen by Reuters on Thursday, Sassoon said it will be improper to dismiss the charges in return for Adams' help on immigration, in addition to saying she had planned new charges. All right. Like I said, I'm not going to get into it. All I know is this: there is a lot of political things going on in the background, and they're all lying to us in general. None of it's to benefit America, right? Most of it is to benefit their own pockets or their own policies and things they're trying to do. I'm not going to get into all of it. I'm going to get to the specifics. For our portfolios, when it comes to crypto and Bitcoin, it has been dangerous to trade and to grow these portfolios because you have people like the SEC and the Southern District of New York saying, hey, if any of your stars shine too bright, if any of your projects are too novel, we're looking at tornado cash, the tornado mixers, stable coins, or DeFi or lending programs. If anything you do can upend a bank, or it can be competitive to a bank, or something we can't control, we don't understand, we are coming after you in a criminal sense, in an enforcement action, as well as an extortive sense, as trying to get your capital away from you for nothing you literally done wrong, nor have you hurt somebody. That has been the Southern District of New York's go-to plan, as well as the SEC. And both of those units in 1 week have essentially been just weakened. Like, man, my teeth are whiter today. Let me tell you that. Yeah, there we go. Power Nine said the IMF days are numbered. I agree. Like the US aid and other globalist cabals, they are being euthanized by Trump and Musk. I won't even get into the deep depths of if they're doing the right thing or wrong thing, especially Elon. I don't trust that alien. Let me be clear on that. So I won't get into the depths. But when it comes to crypto, folks, this is what I wanted. You remember, I didn't say they had to be right. I said I needed and wanted the confusion. I wanted the confused. This is what I want. This is the time to make capital, folks. In this market, it's going to become super volatile. When you have the president going after the Department of Justice, going after the SEC, they're going after him. He got meme coins going. It's so much confusion going. They don't care about the little guy and gal. Now, again, if you're making more than 300, 400K in this space in crypto, give some to Uncle Sam. All right, just off the gang. If you're pulling in 500, 600K this year, really, if you're pulling 100K, really, you might want to sprinkle them a little something. So don't go crazy with big numbers. But for those who are like less than 100K, sub 100K, like I wouldn't be worried about anything. And I think that's the majority of the retail market out there, like less than 100K in the market. So if you have less than 100K, I would not be worried about any regulatory. Like, come get me and we'll talk about it. I'm not worried about anything on the regulation side at this point moving forward for the next few years. So again, this is clear skies for all those who are flying above. All right. To go along with that, SEC acknowledges Grayscale's XRP and Doge ETF filings. Again, the title, the story's in the headline. I did a whole rant and rave about this the other day. I won't go into super detail and do the same rant, but essentially, is like I said, this has been the first time in history this past year the SEC has even acknowledged these things. They used to not acknowledge it. It used to get to their office. You couldn't get anybody on the phone. They give you the runaround, and they would not even acknowledge they had your filings for an ETF, which, by the way, is again super treasonous. You work for the US, you work for taxpayers, you're getting taxpayer money. They send you a job to do, and you say, no, we're not going to do it. Well, why not? Because the banks don't want us to. Oh, but banks are other Americans. Like, we're all peers. Well, so what? They pay us more. But you're not supposed to be getting paid by them. You're supposed to get paid by the Americans. Well, we're not going to talk to you no more. Like, that was essentially how the conversation went at most. But again, this is just as big as the SEC saying we're not doing meme coins and the Southern District of New York all resigning in one day. Hilarious. Listen, they're gonna do a plan. I can't stop thinking about the Southern District thing. Like, were y'all doing a planned walkout, the stage walkout? Nobody cares. Leave, losers. Like, seriously, you've been extorting America. Get out of here. Get out of here. I'm glad to see their job. And I hope they never get hired for the government again. Because why? Why would we hire people we're not gonna quit on us in the middle of the game? I hope they never get a government job ever again. Sassoon. All right, let me get back to this. This SEC acknowledging Grayscale's Doge, XRP, and ETF filings can only mean one thing. Again, especially where the SEC is right now, weakened and already saying, hey, we're not going to control meme coins. They're going to let these filings go through. I'm here to tell you that these filings are going to go through because, again, in the way the government's supposed to work, the SEC is supposed to work for the American people, not the other way around. The past almost 8 years of cryptocurrency, I won't say that long, the past 5 years for sure in crypto, they've been making it seem like our private citizens have been some reason working for the government and we're paying them already. And we pay them more when they extorted us. That's not the way it works. We're supposed to say, hey, we want a Dogecoin ETF. The SEC is supposed to say, okay, well, let's look at the dangers and the threats of the reasons why we can't have this. And then they're supposed to give us all those reasons back. And then the people who want it are supposed to go back to the workshop and say, well, let's fix this so that these aren't any dangers or threats or things we have to worry about. They're not just supposed to ignore this thing and say, I hope it goes away and bury my head in the sand. So for the first time, not only are they acknowledging that, eventually they will come back and say, hey, this is what you did right, this is what you did wrong, this is why we declined to accept it, so on and so forth. And once that comes back, so I don't think they're going to get it the first time through. I think that this process has to happen when it gets pushed back, especially for Doge, because I'm telling you, when you do Doge, you have to do Pepe, you have to do farts, you have to do dog, you have to do Trump, you have to do all those different meme coins as soon as you do Doge. I'm telling you now. So I do think they'll push back on this for as long as possible. But if, like, after the first or second pushback, these companies are going to get it right. They're going to get the fouling right, especially when you talk about Doge, which can be manipulated. You could just call some of the biggest wallet holders and be like, hey, ETF ain't going through because XYZ. Wallet holders, everybody else, hey, we can fix that today. Boom. So again, I do think this is going to happen. This is huge that the SEC is now acknowledging these things. The SEC is acknowledging a Doge ETF filing, folks. We should not have a Doge ETF. Never, ever, 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 ever. I know it's still going to happen anyway, even though we shouldn't have it. But yeah, this is the start of the bubble. This is officially the start of the bubble right here. I want everybody to understand that this is the start of the bubble. You're talking about a Doge ETF. Holy shit. Oh man, I've been so excited. I forgot to put this link in the chat. Let me put the link in the chat. Feel free to call in. Like I said. Uh, you said Doge is decentralized. All right, keep believing that. You keep believing that. Put some bonk in there. Yeah, get some bonk coin. I'm with that. Let's get some bonk coin on there. Let's get all the tokens, get all the ETF tokens we can. Let me look at the chat really quick and see what you all got going on in there. The administration will pump XRP. XRP matches Trump's energy. I can see that. You talking about Brad Garlinghouse? They're definitely going to pump this as far as they can, at least. Let's see. Did we discuss the work that Barry Dow did? I didn't discuss the work that Barry Dow did. I discussed the SEC coming after you all as well. And you should probably sue their ass, Reggie. Like, go get the SEC, Reggie. They did you wrong. It's official. I did talk about that. So I hope you do go after them, Reggie. Oh, what? What did Reggie? You late. Reggie. Hey, shout out to Reggie Milton. He late. He said that we talk about Jorge being forced into IT at the SEC. Did I talk about it? What? The SEC is officially weak right now. Yeah, they got their top cop working the IT desk, and the Southern District of New York did us one better. They top cops not even working no more. They back on the streets with us. I love it. The icing on the cake, the cherry on top, could only be if the new team at the Southern District of New York goes after the old team. I would love to see that. I would absolutely, and with all these agencies, I want the SEC to go after Gary Gensler. I would like to see the CFTC go after their old boss. I want to see the Southern District of New York go after all 6 or 7 or 8 of those folks who just resigned as well. There is this whole thing of I'm gonna do wrong and just resign and squeeze on out of here. That shit over with in America. Hey, listen, it is over with. I don't want justice. Laura Smith said Eric is crooked and got a lot of extra money, so putting it in Bitcoin is just extra money. I can see. Listen, let's be real. Saying Eric is crooked. Eric Adams, any mayor, let's not even say Eric Adams, any mayor of New York City has to be, I would say, a little bit crooked. Yeah, because the only way you're not going to be a little bit crooked, like a lot of people need to be arrested within those first 90 days. We're talking about New York. Do y'all know how much like the Wall Street's there, folks? Wall Street's there. That's all I need to say. All right. Chase had a $1 billion shipment of cocaine come through Miami and nobody talked about it after 15 minutes. Like, what? So my thing is, I'm sure he isn't the only one, which is probably why he went Bitcoin with it. I agree. I see, like I said, I'm looking at this from a crypto perspective, not a right or wrong perspective. See, Laura, appreciate it. Said Eric said he would comply and help with immigration. So now New York is screwed and under the thumb of Trump. LOL, the charges were not dismissed with prejudice. So if we say one thing wrong, the charges, oh, they will go back. Hilarious. Okay. All right. Appreciate that, Laura Smith, for the breakdown on what's going on there. Okay. All right. So they're not releasing them without prejudice. They're saying they could recharge him. Oh, he's definitely about to do the nation's bidding there. They got them. They got him. Yo, he's one of the good ones. You know what they're talking about him. All right. Another big story. This should be one of the biggest headlines in the news today outside Department of Justice, but I'm sure no one would talk about it because technically he never stepped foot in America. So a lot of Americans didn't know this story. But folks, this story right here, I would say this is almost as big, if not just as big, if not bigger. It's definitely same energy as Brittany Griner being released for the Lord of War, which I still wholeheartedly disagree with. That was like the dumbest trade in history, but whatever. Glad we got her back. For those who don't remember, Brittany Griner We did a prisoner swap. I think it was in Russia or something. We switched her for the Lord of War, the guy who steals all the guns. And I hear he's back out there active again for those who want to know. What? Like, y'all thought that old man lost his contacts? Did you not watch the movie? He already knew he's going to get out one day. We just took 20 years longer, but he got out. But yeah, Lord of War or whatever. We switched Brittany Greener out for her. This is Alexander Finnick. So I'm just going to quickly summarize this story to give you what may be happening, why this is so big and what's going on. All right. 2012, 2013. You get what's the exchange that got hacked? The big exchange. I just lost. I'm about to tell the whole story. I forgot the main part. What was the first exchange out there that got hacked? I can't even think of it. It was using it. They were trading cars and they started trading Bitcoin. I can't even think of the exchange name right now. Somebody's about to let me know in the chat. So the first exchange that got hacked, of course, that took years for all the money to be uncovered and the lawsuits. I think this is really 2-3 years ago. A lot of this stuff had just ended. But that exchange that got hacked, um, hundreds of thousands of Bitcoin went missing, which of course today is worth billions of dollars, whatever. Once that exchange got hacked, they were saying some of that hacked Bitcoin went to different exchanges in different places. They're saying one of the biggest exchanges it went to was like hundreds of hacked Bitcoin. Supposedly, this guy right here, Alexander Finnick, controlled that exchange. So essentially, all the hacked Bitcoin. Somebody give me the exchange names. Mount Gox, thank you. Mount Gox. Mount Gox was the first Bitcoin exchange out there. It used to be actually an exchange for trading cards or something. They were trading like Yu-Gi-Oh or Pokemon type stuff. Then they changed that to a Bitcoin exchange. That shows you how early everything was, right? So it was the first one out there. It gets hacked or it shuts down. Something goes wrong. Everybody Bitcoins goes missing. They just within the last couple of years figured out how to pay people back and blah blah blah, right? But all that Bitcoin that went missing went to another exchange, and they said this guy was that exchange operator and he controlled all that Bitcoin, which is worth billions of dollars, right? The United States, fast forward, they said, hey, I think they used Greece or France to arrest him. Russia was like, no, he's one of ours. We want him back. It was this quasi background war going on to who was going to keep him. He went on a hunger strike for a couple of years. But finally, after all of this, we're doing a prisoner swap to actually give him back to Russia to get someone back. A couple of things I got to bring up. If he was that bad, like we said he was, and everything was so terrible, why are we swapping him per normal? Like, if he's that bad, why are we giving him away? Uh, and then the second thing is I had to actually go to the Twitter, the X. I did a whole thread on it because a lot of the dates of what, like a lot of his dates of what's going on. And I'll do another one. I might need to do a whole video of it. I've done a video before, and I know it's on X. I've done a thread, but a lot of the dates from the date he was arrested, the date that he was transferred, a lot of the main dates coincide with political dates and big things going on in the United States. I just want to be clear about that. So it's crazy to even see that they're doing a prisoner swap. And be clear, I think the last time we really heard of him was during the Trump administration as well. So the fact that Trump is back, this is happening with the Department of Justice and the SEC, and then this prisoner swap is all happening in the same week. I'm almost guaranteeing there is something for sure going on in the background. Money is being traded to individuals, not to countries. It's being traded through individuals from different countries. But I can almost guarantee there is something going on in the background. I'll do my due diligence on this story again and look at the dates. But I'm telling y'all, whoever remember those old videos, every day, even the date he was arrested, I wonder, it was something big that went on in the United States. Something big went on in the United States the date he was arrested. And I was like, oh, that's strange. All that happened the same day. And once again, we're kind of see that play out again. So again, this is Alexander Finnick. He lands in Moscow after a U.S.-Russia prisoner swap is official. He is back at home. Bitcoin BTC operator Alexander Finnick was returned to Russia in a prisoner swap exchange for American teacher Mark Fogel. Again, he was in charge of the now defunct exchange BTCE. He arrived in Moscow, looks like yesterday. He was exchanged for American school teacher Mark Fogel, who was repatriated on February 11th. Fogel had been in Russian custody since 2021 after his arrest at an airport for possessing illegal cannabis. And here's the problem, too. I want to be clear. Like, oh my goodness. I think our next president needs to be a military guy or gal. The America's next president needs to be from the military, period. Twice now, we've given we've given high value, high rank Russian citizens back for people who couldn't stop smoking weed. And this is coming from somebody who don't care who smoke weed. Like, come on. This is coming from somebody who in the space. We've given two Russians back, two high value Russians back, because we needed to get back two Americans who just couldn't go a couple days without smoking. Like, this is coming from me of all people. So it's just like, knock it off, folks. This is coming from a guy who back in 2016 was flying to Texas with the goods and blowing it in the restaurant because hey, paper was up, right? I'm in a restaurant with the pen. In Texas, this is 2016 with the homies, the whole crew, girls, tables, food, ordering the whole menu, bottles, wine, smoking the pen in the Texas restaurant, smoking the pen at the airport in Texas. This is 2016. They don't know what the hell they think it's a tobacco pen. All right. So you're talking to someone who has done it, who has traveled the world, traveled different states, and understand. You don't want to be dry. I get it. You're talking to the guy who understands. Okay. I truly, if you know me and really know my history, you know I understand. However, to give up two high value Russian assets because two other people didn't want to take a break from some weed, what? And now that I'm glad this other guy was a Mark Fogel that way, because I'm sure a lot of Americans agree it won't be any racial undertones. You know, the Brittany Greener one, some people had the racial undertones. Well, now we got the Mark Fogel. Both of y'all should take your asses back. Because here's the deal: with the Lord of War and with Alexander Finnick, at the very least, we could pay off some national debt. Like to keep it real, Russia, you want them back? 200 mil. We'll give them back to you right now. 200 mil. Look, oh boy, Russia's president don't care. That ain't his money anyway. He don't care. That's his people money. He would have been like, cool. But again, a Russian national, he was arrested in Greece in 2017 and extradited to the US in 2022. Oh, I didn't realize. Oh, he did come to the US. Okay, I thought he was still overseas. Wow. In May 2024, he pleaded guilty to conspiracy to commit money laundering and his role as BTCE's operator from 2011 to 2017. So again, we kept him in prison from 2017 to 2024 before he pled guilty. That's absolutely crazy. During that time, he went on a hunger strike. Again, I'm not going to go into the full story. I might just actually do a video on this because, like I said, I am guaranteeing you, including today, every day, every time this guy has been reported on or something's happened from the transfer to the United States to the initial arrest. I think he was in France at first as well, or he got transferred to France at one point. Every time this guy has been on in the news, the date has been something big that has happened as well in America. So it's just very interesting to me that this keeps happening, and I almost want to wonder what is going on in the background. Soon, I'm sure we find out soon. I'm sure we will find out soon. All right, more of a fun story. I'm looking at the comments right now. More of a fun story. CZ's dog name sparks broccoli meme coin frenzy. Champagne Zhao, the founder of Binance, revealed his dog name in the X post, sparking a wave of meme coins named after the canine. This is kind of like I heard Elon Musk change his name on X the other day too. They made a bunch of meme coins. Excuse me. They made a bunch of meme coins off of that as well that really blew up and did crazy stuff. So again, anytime things are going to be big, we can expect to see it as a meme coin. When everything gets popular or pop culture, anything like that, we can see it. It sounds like most of the broccoli meme coins that were created have already died down for the most part, but a couple of them have made a lot of people some money. So it's not like they're all trash. Here is one of them. Some have gained traction with one Solana broccoli meme coin reaching a $1.5 billion market cap on February 13th. That is right. People said CZ dog name is broccoli. $1.5 billion goes into the meme coin. That is absolutely insane. But it's happening. He had a whole story about it. I'm not going to get into it. The point is the meme coin frenzy is here. It won't be long before we'll have a broccoli ETF, and then it won't be long before the entire market bursts. And everyone's saying, see, we told you Bitcoin was a scam and all this stuff is fake and blah, blah, blah. It's like it had nothing to do with the ETFs, right? It had nothing to do with the derivatives. It's all Bitcoin and crypto fault. By then, Spencer Cornelia will probably make a new video. It'll be 2026 saying, see, I told y'all that Bitcoin was fake. It went from 190,000 back to 80. All right, I'm looking at some quick comments before I give the shout out. You know what? Forget the last shout out of the story, then I'll do the comments. Stories in the headline. Home state, gotta give them a shout out. Michigan becomes latest state to propose crypto reserve bill. Folks, the crypto reserve is going to happen. Like I said, the only scary thing is will it happen as we're about to retrace and go into a 2-year dip at least, bear market. If that were to happen, man, I'm not gonna say kill it. If this goes wrong, this can set Bitcoin and crypto back at least another 6 years, folks. At least another 4 to 6 years. And it won't have anything to do with the tech. The tech will keep being better. People will keep using it who know how to use it. It'll just be one of those things where so many states and people will get burned so bad they'll just be off it. They'll want to weak hands it, and then next you know the whole market will dip so bad, and it'll just be catastrophic, folks. It'll be catastrophic. It honestly could lead us into a depression if we really start tokenizing everything and ETF and everything. It could lead us into a depression or at least a recession. So it will be bad when it happens, but we ain't there yet, baby. So buckle up and enjoy the ride. All right. Last couple of comments to call it a day. The deal for swap was approved by Trump. Um, for sure. You know, I think I'm just being funny. I think it was something with Fogel. I haven't done all my due diligence on him. I think he was something more than just a teacher. I want to be clear about that. I can't remember. Somebody let me know. Was he a Marine or something too? I can't remember. He was a Marine, and for sure, for sure. But I cannot remember. I want to say he was more than just a teacher. The article said teacher, but I thought it was something else. So let me know. Let's see. Russia capturing BBS so they can trade later for the real villains. US is getting played. Oh, you already know. Oh, basketball stars. Right. Russia, like, hey, we don't need to get nobody high ranking over there. We just, bro, get one they it's a citizen. Just get a citizen. They love them. They love their citizens. Shout out to America for loving our citizens. What else do we have? Mukbang coin, bro. I'm hungry. Hey, that would actually be huge. A mukbang coin. Crypto history would make an amazing blockbuster movie. Man, this Magic the Gathering cards from Mountain Gox. Thank you. It was Magic card. I knew it was Yu-Gi-Oh or something. It was Magic the Gathering cards. There we go. Merchant of Death, not Lord of War. Thank you as well, man. Look, I'm too excited today. The Department of Justice is going out. My brain can't think straight. Yes, it was the Merchant of Death. There we go. I think the movie was called Lord of War. That's what I'm probably getting confused with. But yes, that is the show for today. Look, the bottom line, folks, this was a fun show, but the point of today was to talk portfolio. Our portfolio is looking good right now. Okay, it's looking really safe and secure. She has some years to grow it without interruption. I'm being serious. I think we have the next few years to grow it. I think we will get a retracement in the market. Until that happens, it is time to go absolutely crazy. I'm with whoever said I think they're going to try to push this XRP thing through. A lot of accredited investors love it. I know a lot of put it like this. I know a lot of millionaires who like XRP. This is making a short sentence. In Los Angeles alone, I know a lot of millionaires. I'm thinking of, top of my head, I'm thinking of at least say 8, 9, 10 millionaires right now. They all love XRP and they really want it. And I'll be like, yo, it's not even the main one to get Bitcoin. They're like, that's too slow. I'm like, oh my goodness. So there are a lot of people with affluence and that reach that do want XRP. So I do think that's going to be great. I think in general, the crypto market's gonna be good. All the tokens that are small right now, you'll have a chance to get your bags bought. Maybe not from the token itself, but from the derivative play. If they decide to have an ETF or whatever, then you already know, hey, this is a nice little 10 or 15% pump. We will get to the point to where we have ETF fatigue, I think, the same way we saw the ICO, STO craze. We'll get to a point where there will be ETF fatigue. It's probably going to come after one of them really stinks up the joint, right? The Doge, maybe, but whatever one comes that stinks up the joint, that's going to be the first one that's going to be like, all right, are we doing a little bit too much with this? Might be too late by then. Who knows? But again, the great thing is that Bitcoin and crypto, it's official, folks. We are out of the darkness. It is not just for shadowy, super hooded coders. It is for America.